All right, just going to go over how to deal with mouths and lip syncing in Character Animator. So in my class, we've already created a crab and done a bunch of stuff to it. And so this is like my finished one in the class. However, I want to kind of go over just a kind of an overview of how we've done this process kind of from the beginning. It is easier if you already have your crab or whatever it is you're going to animate created before you start any of the Character Animator stuff. And of course, in our example, we kind of did it along the way so that you could learn each part. But ideally, you would want to have it all done first. So I just wanted to kind of show you, here is just my example. Let me pull up my layers of the essential setup that we've got going on here. So we've got our crab as our main thing because it's all grouped as the crab, right? And then we have two groups, the head and the body. And that's really important. They need to be head and body. They don't need plus signs. They're not going to animate separate from each other, the head and the body. And then within those, you're going to have your bits and pieces. So since our eyebrows raise and lower, they have plus signs. Since our eyeballs are going to move around, they have plus signs. Likewise, our pupils, because they move kind of separately, they're going to have plus signs inside the eyeballs. The face does not, because it's just going to be there. And the mouth is going to stay put, except it's going to move whenever you talk. But don't worry about that part for now. And then as far as the body goes, any parts that you want to be able to move and control would have a plus sign. So I don't have every single leg set to be controlled. And I definitely don't have the torso, which is just the back. It's basically a copy of the face on his because his, head and body are kind of in the same place. So I have a torso there just so all these pieces have something to stick to, right? So in this example, I'm just going to pull this in and from the beginning try to put it together briefly. So we're going to move quickly and then show you how to replace the mouth. Now I'm actually going to do the mouth before I start doing all that. So I have a mouth, and I'll be honest, Illustrator is really tricky when it comes to mouths. You can download a template mouth off the Adobe site, and I have it on our class website too, and it looks like this, and it's got all these mouth states. So it's easiest probably in the beginning to just start with one of these because it's already got all the mouth sounds, and they have to be called what they're called here, so you can't rename these. They all need to be called the right things, but they can be in groups. So like neutral, if you have more than one piece for neutral, that can be in a group, but then the group gets called neutral. And again, no plus signs anywhere to be found here, okay? So what I've done here is I left all of their phonetic sounds, and then in our classroom, I had them only to work on these three mouths. These are the mouths that are controlled by the webcam. So whenever you open your mouth, this one happens. When you smile, this one happens. And when you're not doing really anything, this one happens. And you want them to be lined up with the mouths that are already made. So that's why I kind of put these in here so that the top lip, they kind of recommend that the top lip sort of stays in the same position. So that's what I've done. So if you are going to edit a mouth, be sure that you've already got it in a group, because Illustrator's just kind of dumb in that when you try to draw stuff, like if I go in here to give this guy, say another line to his lip or something, and I draw this, even if I'm on this neutral layer and I've got this targeted, even if I'm on this layer, if I draw it, oops, cancel, just click and drag. This isn't, I don't have anything straight to draw this for, but let's just put some weird little thing here. If I draw this in here, see, it didn't put it with the neutral mouth. It just kind of puts it wherever, all right? So then you have to drag it into the mouth it goes with, but this has to stay neutral. Now this is a problem that my students ran into because since neutral didn't have anything here, and then they would come through and they're like, well, I don't want that mouth, and they would delete it. Well, that also deleted neutral. So you're kind of better off to first go ahead and draw your new mouth. So say I was going to pen tool some sort of mouth here, like so or whatever, like this. Do that first and then group it. So select it and the current neutral mouth and Control G to group it, and then call this neutral. And now you're in the group. So if you want to work just in the group, you can do so. Just double click inside the group. I'm going to get in here. So now I'm only dealing with this neutral mouth. I can do whatever I want in here and it will be in the neutral mouth. So if I delete this, I can do so. I can position this where I want if I was going to put some like random, you know, dots or something, this doesn't make any sense, but let's say I was going to put some random dots in here or whatever, then if I'm in this mode, you know, I can do this. And this is all going to then be in the neutral mouth because I'm inside the neutral mouth. Now, if I go back out here, now I'm in the regular mouth, but you can see then I've got my neutral mouth, right? And then same thing, if you're going to do the smile, you're best to go ahead and work in the smile mouth and do something, you know, and then go ahead and move it down, group those two together, Control G. Make sure you got them both clicked on. I don't, so, all right. Click over here with my black arrow tool, Control G, and then name this one Smile. And then get inside here and deal with whatever you have to deal with, okay? So this looks terrible, but this is just an example. So, you know, go with me here. There we go. Okay, so let's say that this is all my mouse. And once you get it all situated and you've got your neutral and you got your all those, then you're good to go. Now I'm not going to save this. So in this case now I've got this, and I'm going to go ahead and delete this little extra piece. And once you have all your mouths, then you're going to have to select them all and put them into your character. Now I already have a mouth layer in my character, so I got to figure out how to deal with that, right? As I just talked about, it's kind of easier to put the mouths inside if you're in isolation mode. So I'm going to double click and get inside the mouth. Now notice I was first inside the head. Now I'm inside the mouth, right? So now I'm going to come over here to this one. I'm going to show all of my layers in this because I need them all. And I'm going to copy all of these layers. So I want to have all my layers visible, and I want to copy all the layers. I'm not sure why all those didn't go right then, but object, where'd it go? Oh, well, they're all already showing. Sorry. All right. So once I get all of them selected, I got them all selected, then I'm going to copy. So edit, copy, get into your mouth right here, and then paste. Edit, paste. And now it's in there. Now, while they are all grouped, and this is so important, hold down Shift and resize from the corner and put it where it needs to go. Because if you get out of here and then you try to resize it, crazy things may happen. Okay, now I'm going to click over here now and open this up. And then there they all are. And here was my original mouth. And I don't need any of this. So I'm just going to delete all these. So this is the one, oops. So this is the one that was my original mouth. Oh, they're all clicked on, so that's why I messed that up. All right, so this is the one that was my original mouth. I'm going to click here, hold down Control, click, click, click. I'm holding down Control while I select all of those so that only those are selected. I'm going to press Delete. Now those are gone, and now I have all my mouths, right? So I'm going to turn off all of them except my neutral mouth because that's the main mouth that I want turned on whenever you first get in here. Okay, so this really works best in isolation mode. It will save you a heartache. Okay, now I'm just keeping this as a backup, but now I've got my crab demo. I'm going to come back out here all the way out and save. So now I should be situated with my mouth group. Everything should be ready to go into Character Animator. So now I've got Character Animator, and you would have your crab. So if you've not been in it at all and you just now got everything ready to animate, you import your crab or your animal, and then you drag it to the timeline, which is how we started in the beginning. You set your rest pose, so you look at your webcam. All right, there we go. And of course, sometimes it's gonna, it's gonna pick up some of it. Like it's moving a little bit here. It knows that something's going on. So now I can double click here on my puppet to be able to work with the puppet itself. So, when you come out here, my puppet's not blinking or anything because I haven't done anything to make it blink. So this is where you have to map it. And I'm not going to have time in this video to map everything, but it is easiest to not click out here. It's easiest to click on the layer. So when I click on brow, match the brow. And then click on the other brow and match the brow. And click on mouth, and it found the mouth because I named it mouth. And click on eye, and that's this eye over here. So I'm going to do the eye cavity. That's not that part. That's the big part around, and this. That needs to be the eye. Same thing on this side. So we got that going on. Then inside your eye, you need to deal with the pupil. And so match your pupil up and do the same thing with this one. Okay, now let's go over here and see if that works. All right. My eyes are moving around. I think they're working. However, when I blink, crazy things happen because I don't have my blink state set. So that's this, which just covers the eyeball. So I'm going to click on that real quick and then map that to this little line. That's the blink line. And turn it off. And do the same thing on this one and map it and turn it off. Go back. Now you should blink. Okay, that's looking better. So we've got that going on. And then previously we went ahead and we animated like the leg. We said, here's a leg and it's going to dangle, or we could attach things. I think one of the things that we did earlier on, we took an arm and we decided that the arm was going to be a dragger. So we could click it so you could drag the arm, puts a drag on there, and so now I can drag the arm. And then we talked about how when you have a dragger, sometimes you got to staple the arm. And so then we stapled the arm into here so that when we drag it, it doesn't come unhinged. And then we said we can put in bones to the arm so that it kind of keeps its shape a little bit better. And you can put in multiple bones. Okay? So again, this just kind of recaps. I'm not going to do all of this at one time, but that's basically what's happening here. Okay? Now, let's address the mouth, because that's the main thing here that we're in here for. So the mouth should automatically register your neutral and your smile. So neutral is what I got going on now. Now I'm going to smile. And there's my smile. And then I'm going to do my surprise. Okay. Those automatically work just because you named them. So the last thing that we had you to do in class was to record audio. You can record the audio in anything. Just convert it to MP3 or WAV, and then import your audio in. So once I've got my audio imported in, you're going to drag your audio down into the scene. Scoot it down because you don't want it to start talking right away. You can always trim off. And then we've got this going on here. And I don't have everything set on my crab, so it's not going to move like it should. But the first thing we're going to do then is sync the audio. So click on the crab or whatever your character layer is, and you're going to go up to timeline and compute lip sync from the audio. And that should then match the lips to the mouth forms. So we click that, give it time. It will not move your character around. He'll just sit completely still while he talks. So there, once that's done, and you probably won't be able to hear this on here, but he's talking. And notice he's like totally stuck, okay? So the one other thing you're going to do, and again, I haven't like stapled my legs to my torso and stuff, so that's why they're not like, these are my dragging legs, the ones that can move. And so I need to staple them in. So this isn't working quite right, but for the sake of time, we're not going to worry about it at the moment. So pretend that they are connected. Now, you want to turn off your microphone so it doesn't register you talking. And you need to make sure the room is quiet because you don't want the mouth to start doing stuff. And then you're basically just going to hit the record button. And you're going to move around a little bit, and it's going to record the motion of your animal. So here I go. This is Mrs. Skinner's vlog. It is such a great vlog, full of Christmas trees and cats and flags. Okay, so anyway, you would keep going. But it was going and doing its stuff, and then notice you get these camera input lines. So it has my draggable, and it has the camera. And if I hit play back, you'll see him move. All right. And the reason you want to do that is so that it has some motion, so it's not totally still the whole time. And that's pretty much it. If you don't like your movement, you just delete these lines and you can record them again. So it's no big deal. You literally just click on the line and get rid of the line. Just be sure that you are clicked on the right one whenever you choose to delete it. So if I don't like how that draggable worked, I could click here and press delete on the keyboard. But that's essentially it. And you could still make changes. So like I could come in here now and I could make sure that my legs then are stapled like they should be. I can add in those leg staples so that it works properly. And of course I can't find the right one that I want here. But anyway, and then it'll go back and it'll still fix it. See, like it'll adjust them. So, and then we save this and we actually can pull it into Premiere to animate. So, if you create your animal ahead of time, it's really super simple. So good luck.